Well, good afternoon. It's great to see the attendance here. This is a kind of a new initiative, and yet already gaining a lot of momentum. I'm in New York this week in a broad sense to celebrate the good news story about the incredible progress against the fight against global poverty. It's very interesting because every setback we have in this is a news headline, but the gradual year-by-year progress that's led us to achieve MDG 1, it's easy to miss that, and yet it's an amazing thing. It means that more families are putting food on their table, sending their kids to school, and living healthier, more productive lives. And our challenge now is to accelerate, to keep that as a priority, and to continue to lift up millions and millions of families. I'm confident that through this dedication, through innovation, like the one we're talking about here, that we can achieve this. Now, for a lot of people, they may not recognize the importance of digital payments. To them, that's kind of under the covers, something like the cold chain or how you train the health workers. It seems like more of a tactic. But we all know it's a very fundamental thing. As people adapt new technologies, as they're lifting themselves out, one of the things that holds them back is the lack of financial services. Their only choice often is cash. And cash is a bit of a trap. It can be stolen. You can't subject yourself to discipline policies. You get no interest on it. You don't have insurance or credit. And so in a lot of ways, it is the most limiting way to hold assets. But just 23% of poor people have access to any type of formal financial services. And if you go out in rural areas, if you go out to women, the numbers drop even quite a bit below that. So what is it about digital payments that can change this? Of course, we're building off of the huge investment made because of the communication application. That's where the wireless networks, the devices, all get built out. But because these devices are general purpose in nature, with screens, processors, digital information being transferred wherever the network covers it, we can take these and use them in different areas. We can use them in agricultural information, health information, but perhaps the most important thing after communication is the digital payment. The digital payment, first and foremost, lowers transaction costs. So somebody who's trying to spend 50 cents or save $5, who would be paying fees on the order of 20% or more, and therefore would find that very unattractive relative to cash. With these kinds of systems, the fees can be very, very low. It's not just the fees, though. That's an enabling factor. Once you get to that point, then the room for innovation is quite phenomenal. Looking at what farmers need, looking at what people need for health care, looking at what groups of women want to do in terms of working together and helping each other. The whole way that we think about financial products can change in new and interesting ways. The whole field of insurance really starts to come into focus as something that's available. So giving the poor access to these things is phenomenal. Another huge beneficiary of this movement will be government payments. Government payments today are actually not very well targeted. Often the big man in the village finds a way to get part of any payment scheme, no matter what it's labeled for, who it's targeted to. It ends up in the wrong person's hands to some degree. The overhead of administering those programs, the people who are eligible who don't get access, the ability to track what goes on, that's not simply possible in an analog environment. In the digital environment, all of that becomes possible. So government payments is not only a way to bootstrap what we're talking about here, it will be a huge beneficiary. One of the examples of innovation is from Malawi, where the Opportunity International Bank created a program for farmers that when they sell their produce, they're able to deposit it into this digital saving account. And they can then be explicit about what they want to set aside for seeds and fertilizer to plant in the next year. And what was seen was that those who had the opportunity to participate in this program were 6 to 7 times more likely to use new seeds and fertilizer in that next planting season. And so then they were able to receive the benefits of that higher productivity and year by year lift themselves out of poverty. And so that's just one glimpse of what a platform like digital payments can allow. Now, to make this all come together, it's very, very challenging. Mobile providers, banks, governments, issues like how we get the cash out network to be large enough, they are willing to take the payment digitally, how we get the merchants to come in, how we get the fee structure to be low at the same time that we have the kind of interoperability that we'd like, how we get the user interface to be something that's very straightforward for people to use. It's going to take the skills of everyone represented here, and I'd say probably hundreds of more partners yet to come, more banks, more countries, more people from these vertical areas of activity will need to get involved. So we're at the beginning of this, and we're seeing really increased energy around it. No single organization is going to be able to make this happen. In fact, the path in different countries of how it gets bootstrapped will be somewhat different. Financial regulations can stand in the way. You know, how customers register in a very simple way. That today is one of the biggest problems. It's been interesting to see how we're avoiding that. In the few countries we're moving towards critical mass. It's only 4 or 5 countries today, but as the years go on, I expect that ones that are not participating will see the benefits, and they'll very quickly want to join in as well. And that's why we're proud to be part of this alliance. The partners have been mentioned. It's a great group bringing technical expertise, resources, and a commitment to the vision. 6 countries and 10 development organizations, that's critical mass for us to get going. Queen Maxima is a great advocate for this, and the vision can become a reality faster than most development goals. So we've got a milestone. It won't be easy to overcome the various challenges here. It'll require some upfront investments, grants, governments being willing to take risk. Some of these things have actually taken place almost because the government didn't notice it. It looked like a mobile payment scheme or a money transfer scheme, and then it blossomed into something very large. As it gets large, of course, people will worry about fraud. They'll worry about cash balances, but all of those are things that we can take care of. So that's why we all need to bring our best work to this. I believe that we can someday achieve financial inclusion for everyone. So that's why we're very committed to this effort. Thank you.